In 1977, in the extreme north of Brazil, on the island of Colares in Pará, something terrifying began to happen. Residents woke up in the middle of the night with marks on their bodies, circular wounds, burns that no doctor could explain. The accounts were always the same: an intense light coming from the sky, moving in silence and attacking people while they slept. The population called the phenomenon Chupa-Chupa, the sucker, and panic took over the entire region. What came next was unprecedented in Brazilian military history. The Air Force sent a secret team to investigate. The mission was named Operation Saucer. The attacks. Colares is a small island in the state of Pará. In the 1970s, it was a simple community of fishermen and farmers, completely isolated from major urban centers. It all started in late 1977, when residents began reporting luminous objects flying low over the region, objects that moved in impossible ways, changed direction instantly, and emitted beams of light. The attacks occurred mostly at night. Victims woke up with marks on their necks, chests, and legs, circular wounds, like puncture marks, accompanied by burns that seemed caused by radiation or intense heat. According to later studies by ufologist Jacques Vallée, the injuries were consistent with the effects of directed microwaves. Hundreds of people were affected. Estimates reach 400 victims on the island of Colares alone. Some died, according to local reports, although military documents officially do not confirm any deaths. Terrified, the residents started holding collective night watches, lighting bonfires, and setting off fireworks to ward off the objects. But nothing worked. Desperate, the mayor of Colares, José Ildone Favacho Sueiro, sent a formal plea for help to the Brazilian Air Force, FAB, and the FAB answered. Operation Saucer. In October 1977, the Brazilian Air Force launched Operação Prato, or Operation Saucer, as it would become known abroad. It was a classified intelligence mission, operationally commanded by Captain Uyrangê Bolivar Soares Nogueira de Hollanda Lima, based at the Belém Air Force Base. The mission was small and discreet, just Captain Hollanda and 6 sergeants. They arrived in the region equipped with theodolites, cameras, and audio recorders. The operation was divided into 2 phases. Phase 1, October 20th to November 11th, 1977. Phase 2, November 25th to December 5th, 1977. But the work continued unofficially for a good part of 1978 due to the investigators' personal interest in what they were documenting. Over 4 months, the team interviewed hundreds of witnesses in Colares and 30 other communities north of Belém. Each testimony was recorded with clinical detail. The result was a staggering dossier: over 300 documented sightings, hundreds of photographs, hours of film footage, and a final report of approximately 500 pages. Part of this material was sent to the Air Force headquarters in Brasília. For decades, it remained classified. The evidence. What the military team recorded was extraordinary. On December 11th, 1977, at 3:25 a.m., one of the investigators photographed an irregularly shaped luminous object flying over the area. It was not an isolated case. The military personnel themselves saw and photographed UFOs dozens of times during the operation. Some film footage recorded the objects diving into the waters of the Marajó Bay or emerging from them, something that to this day has no conventional explanation. The investigators also documented the victims. Doctors examined injuries on residents. A researcher from Belém Daniel Rebisogisi, who studied the case for decades, reported that a colonel showed a doctor photos of countless people with burns. One of the interviewed victims, Manuel Emidio Campo de Oliveira, stated that the military photographed a circular burn on his upper left thigh. In 2005, following a national campaign led by ufologist Ademar José Gueverd, which gathered over 36,000 signatures, FAB generals publicly admitted that the Air Force had been tracking UFOs since 1954, in internal files known as Traffic H. That same year, ufologists were able to examine about 110 photographs and 160 documents from Operation Saucer directly in the military archives in Brasilia. Today, part of these documents is available in the Brazilian National Archives, accessible to the public. The confession. 20 years after the operation, in 1997, the man who had commanded it all decided to speak. Uyrangê Bolivar Soares Nogueira de Hollanda Lima had retired as a lieutenant colonel. Now, free from military obligations, he granted a series of interviews to researchers. Among his interviewers were Brazilian ufologists Ademar José Gueverd and Marco Antonio Petit, as well as American researcher Bob Pratt and his colleague Cynthia Luce. What Hollanda revealed was disturbing. He confirmed that the operation was real, extensive, and meticulously documented. He confirmed that the team spotted the objects personally, multiple times. He described the phenomena with technical detail. Objects that changed shape, emitted light of various colors, moved at impossible speeds, and demonstrated apparent awareness of human presence, as if they knew they were being watched. Hollanda said that many people had been burned by the objects, both on the island of Colares and on Marajó Island, and he expressed something that surprised the interviewers: genuine fear. He feared he had been monitored. He feared that something new about him. He feared, according to some reports, even a possible abduction. The interview lasted for hours. Hollanda was detailed, coherent, and emotionally shaken as he relived the memories. He revealed that the operation's documentation actually included over 500 photos, 16 hours of footage, and a 2,000-page report. It was the last time Uyrangê Hollanda spoke publicly about Operation Saucer. The aftermath. Approximately 3 months after giving the interviews, Lieutenant Colonel Uyrangê Hollanda was found dead in his home. The official version, broadcast by the Globo network, was suicide. According to reports, he hanged himself with the belt of his bathrobe. The news generated immediate repercussions among researchers of the case. For many, the timing was impossible to ignore. A military officer who kept silent for 20 years, who spoke openly for the first time in 1997, and who died just a few months later. There is no conclusive public investigation pointing to any cause other than suicide. Official documents offer no further details, but Hollanda's case became a symbol of an unanswered question. What exactly did he know? And what did he reveal, or what was he about to reveal, that still remains hidden? The death of Uyrangê Hollanda transformed Operation Saucer into something more than just a UFO case. It turned it into a question about the limits of what governments reveal and what they decide to hide. Unanswered questions. Operation Saucer is considered by researchers to be one of the best documented cases of military UFO investigation in world history. Unlike other episodes shrouded in institutional denial, in Brazil, there are documents, photos, and reports. The FAB never denied the operation existed. It simply kept the files closed for decades. In 2022, the Brazilian government even declared an official night of the UFOs, formally recognizing the historical relevance of the sightings. Part of the material is currently available for public consultation at the National Archives in Brasilia, but researchers claim that much remains withheld or has been destroyed. What caused the injuries to the hundreds of victims in Colares? What did the military team film diving into the Marajó Bay? Why was the full report never published? Was Hollanda's death really a suicide? Colares still exists. The island is still there, in Pará, in northern Brazil. And the older residents still remember the nights of 1977. Operation Saucer ended, but the questions it left behind, those remain open. If you've made it this far, this channel was made for you. Here, we don't talk about what everyone already knows. We dive deep into the cases the world decided to forget, the files that were kept locked away, the military men who died with secrets, the stories that official history prefers to ignore. If you want to be notified every time a new case comes to light, hit the subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell, because YouTube has a terrible habit of not showing our videos to those who should see them. And if Operation Saucer left you with that feeling that there's still more to all this, leave a like. It seems like a small thing, but it's what makes this content reach more people. Follow the channel on social media too, link in the bio and the description. We post a lot of stuff there that doesn't fit in a video. Until the next case, if anyone lets us tell it.